Matt Miller, NFL Draft Scout, Bleacher Report, podcast, Stick to Football. These days, we're not sticking to sports as much. Tomorrow, Bill Simmons on the show. Okay, Matt, we had you on a couple of weeks ago. I'll be honest. I like the intangibles of Justin Herbert, and I like the tangibles of Justin Herbert. I think the Senior Bowl and the Oregon coaches kind of let him play in the Rose Bowl, and I thought he was the first or second best player on the field. My gut feeling, though, everybody I talk to that I trust, they've got huge reservations about him. I get that he's not great off script. Either is Jared Goff and Matt Ryan. Where do you fall on Oregon's quarterback?
Yeah, Colin, I'm right there with you. I'm not as high on him as you are. I do believe he'll be a first-round pick. I think he should be a first-round pick. If ultimately, he's probably going to be drafted in the top 10. My reservations with Justin Herbert are, like you said, I think he was held back by the coaching staff. So there's a little bit of a boom or bust potential here because if you get him in the right system, like you said, you're very right here, get him in a system where he doesn't have to be a let me get to my third and fourth progression guy and make plays off schedule like Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. Let him play in a Sean McVay type offense where, boom, one read and go. And hopefully we see more of what we saw at the Rose Bowl, where he was finally freed up to run. And with Justin Herbert, you can look at the positives, 6'6", 240, big arm, mobile. And of the first-round quarterbacks, other than Jordan Love, played with the worst supporting cast of any quarterback in this class. He didn't have Tua's receivers. He didn't have Joe Burrow's receivers. He didn't have Jalen Hurts receivers. So I think you are getting a guy that, you hope can get better on the job, but that does come with some risk.
Matt Miller joining us. Let me ask you about, we said yesterday, the best GMs are going to be the best GMs whether they have OTAs and interviews and Facebook interviews or not. Like, it's not like bad GMs in this crisis where you have a shortage of information are going to leapfrog good GMs. So I still think the Howie Rosemans and the Chris Ballards and the Brett Veaches, they're still going to do fine in this draft. What is your takeaway on this inability to watch practice and talk to players directly? Like, how's it all going to – is it going to mean there's going to be a bunch of whiffs in this draft?
Con, I actually think that we're going to see less misses in this draft.
Wow.
Because smart general managers also have smart scouts. Like the Baltimore Ravens, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs, they have scouting staffs who know how to do their job. You're not going to get enamored with a guy because of a workout or because of an interview where you bring a quarterback in and you think his tape's not very good, but he really impresses you in that day you spend together. We're not going to get another, Sam Bradford who has a perfect pro day and goes first overall. It's the good players are going to get drafted early. I think we see players with injury concerns are going to fall in this draft. Players with off-field concerns or character concerns are going to fall in this draft. And so for the first time in the decade that I've been doing this, we might actually just have good football players get drafted based on what they did on Saturdays in the fall and not how fast they ran at a pro day on a track surface that's been, baked for fast 40 times.
By the way, I said this the other day. I joked with you on Twitter. I said with Zion when he came to the NBA, I said he's going to give you 24 a night rolling out of bed. It's a cardio league full of skinny guys, and he looks like a defensive end, and nobody's going to want that body on him. He's just physically unique, and he's going to score a bunch of points like Sean Kemp, Larry Johnson, Blake Griffin. I feel the same way with Clemson linebacker Isaiah Simmons. Big, fast, strong, relentless. I don't know what he is. I didn't know what Shaq Thompson was going to be, but I knew he was too good physically not to work. What are NFL GMs saying about the kid that potentially could go 3 or 4 to the New York Giants?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from everyone. And the Giants are the worst in the NFL at keeping secrets. They love Isaiah Simmons, and for good reason, because, like you said, I don't care what position he plays. I didn't know what position Jalen Ramsey was going to play coming out of Florida State. We didn't know what Derwin James was going to play. We were just going to play defense. Miles Jack was that way. You put this guy on defense, let him make plays. Minka Fitzpatrick was an all-pro just doing that. And Isaiah Simmons is 238 pounds and runs a 4.3. Like, people like that just don't exist. So if you put him on the Chargers and say, okay, this week you're stopping Travis Kelce. Next week you're stopping Darren Waller. The week after that, you're stopping Noah Fant. Or, put him on the Carolina Panthers. Let him do the same thing. I think he's just a matchup problem. I saw this dude play corner against LSU in the national championship game. and he was shutting down people like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. So I don't think there's a limit to what he could do. Everyone wants to say, oh, what is he, linebacker or safety? This ain't Madden, guys. You don't have to assign a position. You just put him on defense and let him make plays.
Okay, Brady's gone. Tampa Bay's got a late first-round pick. They need a linebacker. There's the Braun kid out of Wisconsin. There's the kid out of Oklahoma who's got great character and runs around and hits people. They need Van Noy and Jamie Collins are gone. So the reigning dynasty won't be the same. Gut feeling on who New England takes with that first pick. I feel like they're going to go defense.
I think so, too. I actually have a 7-round mock draft that's going to come out tomorrow because I have nothing better to do with my time right now. And I had them going defense. Defensive end, Yetur Gross-Matos from Penn State. I'm with you. I think we see Belichick get back to his roots a little bit and try to build up a defense. Like, think of guys they've lost. Trey Flowers, Chandler Jones, Jamie Collins, Kyle Van Noy. They've lost so many good players off that front seven in the last couple of years. I do think we see them rebuild that and try to give Jarrett Stidham a defense that can win games for him as he develops, as he grows, so that you're not saying, all right, Stidham, glad that we got to score 30 this week. This is a team first 8 weeks of the season last year was the best defense a lot of us had ever seen. So getting back to that with Stephon Gilmore, with the McCourty brothers coming back, you got veterans in the secondary. I think we see them rebuild that front seven on defense with these early picks.
Yeah, I mean, there's risers and there's fallers. What is I think Jordan Love, because of the similarities to Patrick Mahomes, somebody rolls the dice on him. But here's my question. After the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Chargers pick, if Jordan Love isn't the first 3 picks, unless Jacksonville goes, we could go 12 teams that don't need a pick, and Jordan Love's swimming down there in Green. See, my guess is if Jacksonville doesn't take Jordan Love, then Green Bay is going to look at that at some point and think, we got a roster that's mostly complete. Let's go for it and move up 6 spots. We got a minute left. Your gut feeling today on where Jordan Love goes?
I had him go to the Saints with the exact same reasoning, but you get to that point, 23, 24 in the first round. If he's still on the board, a team that could draft and stash him makes the most sense. And someone's going to fall in love with, the quote-unquote Patrick Mahomes style play that he brings. Whether it's Green Bay or the Saints, I think someone right there in the 20s makes a ton of sense for him. Yeah,
like a Green Bay or a New Orleans roster, which, by the way, they don't have massive needs. The Packers need a wide receiver, but Green Bay can get that 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, 5th round maybe. It's the deepest wide receiver class ever. Follow his stuff. Covered the NFL for since 2010. Matt Miller, NFL Draft Scout, Bleacher Report. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Colin. Have a good one, buddy.
You bet. Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and auto insurance. Good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, see how much you could save. Geico.com. It's easy. I haven't even touched most of my prep. It is just, there's so many smart things in the top of my head that are just swimming. I haven't been able to get into a lot of my notes today. 2 hours ago, I talked about Michael Jordan and the Bulls. ESPN's going to air that 10-part series on him earlier than expected here in the next week or two. I think it's a smart move by ESPN, 2 or 3 weeks. I think they're the most beloved team in my life. But I want to talk about that. And something we tend to do, I try never to do it. I push back on it. It is a default mechanism for all sports fans. Romanticizing the past. It wasn't nearly as good in the 60s and 70s and 80s as you think. Hour 3, Urban Meyer 2. Next.